Fun fact, I filmed the whole entire thing and then realized that I forgot to hit record on my camera. Hey guys, welcome back to the 13th day of the 25 days of Kitmas. That's going to become a tongue twister after a while. I just have a feeling. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what all is in my touch-up kits. I have done a really in-depth video about this probably like last November, I want to say, so it's probably been about a year since I did it. Since that video was uploaded about a year ago, I have gained quite a bit of subscribers since then, and I feel like a lot of people do not know that video exists. So I'm gonna go ahead and include this in the 25 days of Kitmas since this is ultimately related to my makeup kit. So let's go ahead and get on into it. You guys like my cute little station setup with all my stuff? This is all of the stuff that I use for my touch-up kits. Sorry about the awkward angle. I'm filming completely at night and I'm not getting any natural light at all, so we're just gonna have to deal with this. Fun fact, I filmed the whole entire thing and then realized that I forgot to hit record on my camera. So I had to disassemble the whole entire touch-up kit, but already labeled the jars, so just bear with me. First of all, I take this little organza bag. It's called an organza bag or a jewelry bag. It's a 4x6 one. I feel like this is the perfect size for me personally to get all the stuff in my touch-up kit whilst not being too cramped. I did used to have the 5x7 ones, but I felt like that was pretty large and it just had a lot of excess space going on. Everything mostly I'm getting off of Amazon, otherwise I'll tell you guys where I'm getting it. Of course, all the links will be below. But yeah, I like to have these organza bags. They're just drawstring bags. I also like the white ones because I feel like they are more bridal. I go ahead and include a business card. Now, my business cards I get are from Vistaprint, and I usually get a couple hundred of them each time I order them, and they all just come inside of this box. This is what it looks like. It just has my logo on the front of it, and then all my personal information is on the back. Of course, I'm not going to reveal that because it has my personal cell phone number on it. Then what I'm going to do is get out some oil blotting sheets, and I got these from Walgreens. I usually get the bamboo ones off of Amazon, and I'll link those down below, but I didn't really have time to do this because I was prepping for a wedding, so I had to get these really quickly. But yeah, these are the oil blotting sheets from Walgreens, and I usually just take a couple out of here. Of course, since I already have filmed this before, I already took them out of their package. So they just look like this. They're just like a blue kind of color. Put them directly behind the information on the back so the logo is still facing up on the front. Then before I put them inside of the kit, I go ahead and take a bobby pin, and this is only what I do for the bride. I don't do this for any other bridesmaid because I usually don't know what hair color everybody else has. And of course your bride's paying the most, so you got to include the most in her touch-up kit too. So I want to match obviously the bobby pin to the hair color of the bride. My bride is blonde, so I'm gonna go ahead and use these blonde bobby pins in here. And that just looks like this. I'm gonna line them up the best that I can, and then take the bobby pin and then push it right down the center just so it secures it on there. So now you have this little combo going on. Then I'm going to go ahead and stick this right down into the bag as nicely as I possibly can. So it looks like this. And then all the items that I'm going to put in this touch-up kit are going to be placed in front of the business card instead of behind it, just so it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I'm gonna go in with my sample jars. So I have these two right here. I already labeled the bride's name on here. My bride's name is Savannah. This one says Savannah Powder. And then I have one that says Savannah Lips. So I give lips and powder to my bride. I do not include the loose powder anymore for anybody other than the bride. I took a survey not too long ago that basically asked how many people actually used all the stuff inside of the touch-up kit, or what like the most used items or the least used items were. And everybody said that powder was one of the things that they didn't touch. And I don't want to just be wasting products. It's not cheapening out necessarily on the kits. It's just preventing me from wasting product and then preventing me from giving away things that people aren't going to use anyways. So I made the executive decision to not have powder inside of everybody's kits. And that was also saving on sample jars, of course, too. So I just include the powder for my bride. I used to include translucent powder for everybody, but some people with dark skin, translucent powder looked really ashy on them. So it was almost like I had to fill up the powder on site and also the lipstick on site, and that was a lot of time that was being wasted. So that's also another reason I don't include powder for everybody too. Since I know the bride's skin tone, it's easier for me to fill up powder. This bride does have very light skin tone, so I go ahead and fill it up with the Huda Beauty Sugar Cookie Powder, which is the lightest one that they carry. It's just in this little sifter container that I got from Amazon. And all I'm gonna do is unscrew this, pop off the top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and scoop this out and put it in there with a Q-tip. So I'm gonna get out a Q-tip here. And I already have some powder inside of here because I already did this one time. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I did, and this bride will just get extra powder. But all I'm gonna do is scoop it out of here, Just get a little bit on the Q-tip, and then I'm just gonna put it inside of the jar. You can also use a spatula to do this too, but I feel like it works better because it sticks to the Q-tip for some reason. And you wanna give them enough basically to fill up the bottom of the jar. You don't need to fill up this whole entire container because otherwise that's wasting product. But if you can tell, that's kind of like the amount that I have in there. It's just a little bit. And if your bride asks you, you want to make sure that they blot with the oil blotting sheet first and then go in with the powder afterwards. So then with the powder done, I'm gonna go ahead and put that inside of the bag. Again, everything goes in front of the business cards. And then for the lip jar, I always get questions about this. I don't fill these up ahead of time because sometimes every once in a while my brides will be like, well, maybe we should go a darker color than what we did in the trial, or maybe it should be more pink instead of brown, like that sort of thing. So a lot of the time, since I do already change the lip colors on site, I don't fill them up ahead of time. And then also with the rest of the bridal party, I never know what lip color the people are going to pick ahead of time, and I don't know what skin tones that they have, so I don't like to fill them up in advance at all. I usually will give people enough to be able to touch up their lips twice, so I usually do a couple of scoops with my spatula and then put it in here. Again, don't fill up the whole entire container, like people do not need that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here empty, and then they need a little sponge to touch up with the powder, so I just get these jumbo wedge sponges from CVS. They're part of the One and Other brand. And I'm gonna scoot over the jars a little bit and then scoot the powder puff right on the side, right there. And then we need applicators for the lips. So I include a couple of doe foot applicators for those. Of course, I get these off of Amazon. You always want to get your disposables off of Amazon, by the way. That's like the easiest money saving trick. Don't try to go to beauty supply stores because otherwise you're going to be paying like $10 for 10 applicators. It's kind of a joke. Whereas you can go on Amazon and buy like 100 of them for like $5. It's going to save you a lot of money. Usually go ahead and include a couple of doe foot applicators for each person. And then I will just stick them right on the side. Then the other thing that I like to include is a couple of Q-tips. You just never know what you're gonna need Q-tips for throughout the day. Sometimes people use them to, you know, maybe blot tears or just get out like eye boogers. Like I have no idea, but I usually include a couple of Q-tips just in case. Plus, if they run out of lipstick applicators, I can always use those too. Then the other thing that I usually like to include is a single-use makeup remover wipe to wipe off their makeup at the end of the day. I just have these Neutrogena ones. I'm probably gonna switch to the fragrance-free ones here pretty soon, just so they're a little bit more sensitive skin friendly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that right on top. Then the other thing that I thought was so freaking cute, everybody's had questions about these. These are the Pillow Pack Tic Tac mints. I found them off of Amazon in like this giant bag, and I'll go ahead and link these down below, but they come with like 4 little individual Tic Tacs, and they're the cutest things I've ever seen. And all of my bridal clients love it. Like every single bridesmaid, every single bride, like they always think they're so entertaining whenever they see these guys. So I go ahead and put those in there as well. And then the very last thing that I give my brides is lash glue of some sort. And this is the Shop Miss A one. It's only like $1 on their website, just in case any lashes lift. And of course, all their other bridesmaids, if like anything else happens, they can use this of course too if they feel comfortable. But yeah, that is pretty much about it for the kit. But yeah, I'll just close it and drawstring it, and like it fits in there perfectly. There's not too much excess room. It's not too big. Then I want to show you guys really quickly these simplified versions. So this is basically for anybody except for the bride. And again, this is subjective. You can do whatever you want with these touch-up kits. You can include whatever. You can make them all the same. It doesn't really matter. But in my mind, since my bride's paying the most, I want to like include the most for her. And then I simplify the rest of the kits. So for the simplified versions, I'll go ahead and still take a bag out. Then I will include a business card again. Then I still do include a couple of oil blotting sheets because they do need something to blot their oils with just in case. I used to include this and the powder still in like everybody's touch-up kits, and that kind of became a lot. Instead of doing a bobby pin, I'm just gonna put it in like this. I don't know any of the names off the top of my head right now, but I'm gonna have to label the person's name and then write lips on there just so they know whose is whose. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick this inside of here, but just know that that will be the lip color, and usually I do label them. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in like this. And then the only things that I include other than that is just the applicators. So they don't need a sponge because they don't have powder inside of there like the bride does. So I'm just gonna go ahead and include 2 of the doe foot applicators, and then also 2 Q-tips. And I'm just gonna stick them down into the kit. I'm still gonna give them a little tic tac here. Sometimes I do give them the single-use makeup remover wipes. I just don't have any extra right now, but sometimes I do include that for the rest of the bridal party as well. But yeah, that would be my simplified kit for the bridesmaids or like mothers of the bride, etc. And then obviously this is the more dolled up version of that kit. That's the bride's touch-up kit. And yeah, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I know it was really sweet and simple and straight to the point, but hope you guys still enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, as well as also hitting that subscribe button for me. And don't forget to turn on the post notifications. Again, I am uploading every single day until Christmas, which is day 25. So definitely go ahead and check out the videos each day for the 25 days of Kitmas. As always, I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.